Students, previous lecture we have completed Introduction to Engineering Graphics, Applications of Engineering Graphics, Drawing Instruments, how to mark dimensions and how to write letterings, capital letters and numbers, right? And today's lecture we are going to draw all these geometrical constructions. This is the minimum basics you have to remember till unit 5. Right, and these all are important: how to bisect a line, how to bisect an angle, how to divide a line into number of equal parts. This concept is important till unit 5, right? So coming to, like, when we are drawing ellipse, when you are drawing parabola, hyperbola, right, there is a lot of construction to construct all that ellipse, parabola and hyperbola. In that also we are using how to bisect a line, how to divide a line into equal parts. So till unit 5 these concepts are very important. You have to remember till unit 5, right? So let us start with first one. First one is how to bisect a line. Bisecting means dividing a line into two equal parts, right? Now you see here, I can divide 50 mm line into two equal parts easily, 25 and 25. Generally what we will do, we will draw 50 mm line, just we will mark midpoint, right? So this method is wrong coming to engineering graphics, right? Definitely you have to follow the constructional method to draw how to bisect a line, right? So I am giving you one question. Let us see. We want to divide 75 mm line. Okay, so we are going to divide here 75 mm line. 75 mm means 7.5 centimeters, right? Take a scale, draw here 75 mm, 7.5 centimeters, right? So name it as here O and name it as here A. Now OA length is here 75. Now how to bisect this one? Bisecting means, see, take the compass, keep your compass here at O point, keep your compass at O point, take more than half, take more than half, till here it is half, take more than half, draw an arc above and draw an arc below, right, with the same radius. Don't change the radius of your compass. With the same radius, keep your compass at A point, cut the first arc above and cut the first arc below, right? Now see here, this is the intersection part and this is the intersection part, right? Join these two. Join these two. So this is nothing but bisecting a line. Name it as here C and name it as here D, right? So whatever may be the length of the line, whatever may be the length of the line, the process is you have to keep the compass at starting point and take more than half. Take more than half and draw the arc above and below, right? Again at the end point, keep your compass here, take more than half, don't change the radius of your compass, draw an arc above and below, cut the previous arc, right? So this is how to bisect a line. Now coming to next one is how to bisect an angle, right? So let us see. I am taking one right angle, right, and I am taking here one acute angle, right, and I am taking here one obtuse angle. Right angle, acute angle, obtuse angle. Now how to bisect an angle? See, for bisecting a line we are taking more than half with compass, right? Now how to bisect an angle? In order to bisect an angle we have to take less than half, very small radius, less than half, right? Just keep your compass here, right, and draw an arc on the horizontal line, draw an arc on the vertical line, right? Now same radius, don't change the radius of your compass, same radius, keep your compass on the first arc which you drawn on horizontal line, draw an arc in the middle, right? And here keep your compass on second arc and cut the previous arc, right? And now join this one. This is nothing but bisecting an angle, right? Same process when it is acute angle also, right? Name this point as here O, right? Angle bisection means you have to take less than half only. Keep your compass at O point, right? Take less than half, draw an arc on horizontal and inclined. Now with the same radius, keep your compass on first arc, right? Draw the arc in the middle. Okay, keep your compass on this second arc, cut the previous arc here, right? Join this one intersection part. This is bisecting an angle, right? Same process for obtuse angle also. Angle means how to bisect an angle means you have to take less than half, right? Keep your compass at O point, take less than half, right? With the same radius, don't change the radius of compass. Keep your compass on the first arc, draw the arc in the middle, keep your compass on this arc, cut this one, right? And now join this one. This is nothing but bisecting an angle. Please remember, if you bisect a line, take more than half. If you bisect an angle, take less than half, right? Now the important one is how to divide a line into number of equal parts. Now you see, we can divide 100 mm into 10 equal parts. We can divide 50 mm into 5 equal parts. Just we can plot the points on the straight line, right? But don't follow that method. If you want to draw a minimum basic line also, you have to follow the constructional method only. Don't mark the points directly. Definitely you have to follow the constructional method, right? Now how to divide a line into number of equal parts. See here, I am taking 60 mm line. I am taking 60 mm line into 4 equal parts. I want to divide 60 mm line into 4 equal parts, right? Actually what we will do, we will draw 60 mm straight line. We will divide into 4 equal parts by plotting the points, right? So that is the wrong method. You have to follow the constructional method, like length of the line is 60, no? 60 mm means 6 centimeters, right? So draw 6 centimeter line. Okay, name it as O and A. Whenever you are dividing a line into number of equal parts, you have to take the angle less than 45 degrees. This is the important concept to note, right? So less than 45 means what I am taking the protractor, right? So this is 0 line, right? This is 0 line. I am placing this 0 line at O point. I am keeping the 0 line at O point. See, this is O point, this is 0 line, right? See, starting from 0, less than 45, no, I am taking here 30 degrees angle. Take 30 or take 45, your wish. But in order to divide a line into number of equal parts, definitely you have to take 45 degrees angle or 30 degrees angle, right? What I am doing, I am placing the protractor on this line. Right? O point here and here A point. From A I am marking here 30 degrees angle, right? Now what I am doing, from O point to this 30 degrees, this is 30 degrees now, just I am drawing a line, right? Now I am taking compass and I can take any radius. Right? How many equal parts I have to do? 4 equal parts. No, start from O. 1, 2, 3 and 4. See, the important point to note here is you can take any length of your compass, any radius of your compass, but don't change the radius of your compass till last point. If you are taking the radius for first arc this much, for second arc also you have to take this radius only, for third arc, for fourth arc you have to take this radius only. Don't change the length of the compass till the last arc, right? First arc, whatever length you are taking, take the total arcs with the same length only. Don't change the length of your compass, right? And now this is your last arc, right? Now join this last arc to end of the line A. Join this last arc to the end of the line A. Now just move the scale like this and draw here parallel lines from every arc. Draw the parallel lines for every arc. You can draw parallel lines by using set squares also, right? Now this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. I am dividing 60 mm line into 4 equal parts, right? See, some people may take less radius, some people may take more radius, right? Whatever may be the radius of your compass, but the condition is where you are getting the last arc, either here, where you are getting the last arc, join the last arc to the end of the straight line. Join the last arc to the end of the straight line and draw the parallel lines, right? So this is the concept of geometrical constructions, right? How to bisect a line, how to bisect an angle, how to divide a line into number of equal parts. These concepts is important till unit 5. Please remember all these concepts. Bisecting a line means you have to take more than half. Bisecting an angle means you have to take less than half. How to divide a line into number of equal parts means either you can take 45 degrees line or either you can take here 30 degrees line, right? But the condition is don't change the radius of your compass till the last arc, and you have to draw the parallel lines from every arc, right? Where you are getting the last arc, either if you are getting here, either if you are getting here. If you are getting here, join this last arc to end of the line only and draw parallel lines, right? So please remember all these concepts. These are very important one, right? So till here this is the basics of engineering graphics, right? How to mark dimensions, how to write lettering, how to bisect a line, bisect an angle, how to divide a line into number of equal parts. These all are basics only. Till now we didn't enter into the topic, right? So now after this is the total basics of engineering graphics. Now we will enter into first topic in unit 1, right? First topic in unit 1 is conic sections, right? First topic in unit 1 is conic sections. So conic sections means we are going to learn about cone, right? You know the shape of the cone will be like this. Shape of the cone will be like this. Please remember all these terms. This is the apex, right? Apex, and this slant edges, we will call this as slant edges as generator, and dash dot, these are called as axis line, and this one bottom one is base here, right? So why I am drawing dotted line here? Because cone is a 3D one. In 3-dimensional one, what we are seeing from front part, we will draw with help of a straight lines. What we cannot see, we will draw with hidden lines. This is called as hidden lines, right? So please remember these terms: apex, generator, axis and base, right? Now what is a cone? Cone is the surface generated by rotation of a straight line whose one end is in contact with a fixed point while the other end is in contact with a closed curve. See, this is the cone. Cone is the surface generated. This is a straight line by rotation of a straight line. If you rotate a straight line, one end of the straight line is in contact with a fixed point, right? And other end of a straight line is in contact with a closed curve. Right, this is the definition of a cone. Right, now in these conic sections we are going to learn about ellipse, parabola, hyperbola. Right, so in order to draw ellipse, parabola, hyperbola, you have to learn some basic terms or basic terminologies. Right, if you know that only, you can draw all the ellipse, parabola and hyperbola shapes. Right, so let us see this theory part first. Right, cutting planes in different positions. So what is meant by cutting plane? Plane which is used to cut the solid. A plane which is used to cut the solid is a cutting plane. Right, now you see here I am drawing the shape of the cone. Right, I am drawing the shape of the cone. Okay, now with the help of cutting plane, I am indicating cutting plane as large dash, small dash, large dash, small dash, large dash, small dash, like this. Right, so with the help of cutting plane, if I remove the top portion of the cone, with the help of the cutting plane, if I remove the top portion of the cone, right, so when we are seeing from top view, right, the section appears like a circle. The section appears like a circle. Just imagine. Right, see, this is a cone. Right, so if I remove this one, see, I am removing this one. No, that's why I draw this one in very light manner. With the help of pencil I draw this. Right, so when I remove this portion with the help of a cutting plane, when you are seeing this portion from the top view, the section obtained will be here circle. Right, same cone, when the same cone I am taking, right, with the help of a cutting plane, if I am removing this portion in inclined manner, which is inclined to the axis, this is the axis line, no? When the cutting plane is inclined to the axis, right, when you are seeing from here, it looks like an oval shape. The oval shape is nothing but here ellipse. Yes or no? Just imagine this one. Right, just imagine a cone. If you remove the top portion of the cone, it looks like a circle. When it is in some inclination manner, it looks like an oval shape ellipse. Right, when the cutting plane is inclined to the axis and parallel to one of the generator. See, this is the generators, right? This slant edges are generators. When this cutting plane is parallel to the generator, right, if you remove this portion, the section obtained is parabola. The section obtained is parabola. Right, same. When the cutting plane DD is not parallel to any of the generator and makes an angle with the base, when this sectional plane is not parallel to the generator, just simply we are removing this portion. Now the section obtained is hyperbola. If the sectional plane is exactly parallel to the axis, if you are removing this portion, it looks like a rectangular hyperbola. Right, so please remember this: ellipse, parabola, hyperbola and rectangular hyperbola. Right, so just I want to show you the difference between the axis line, right, sectional plane, dashed line and straight line. I want to show you the difference of all this. Right, so you will see the difference first. See, actually we will draw a straight line like this. Right, we will call this as a straight line. Right, then next axis line. How we will draw axis line? Dash dot. dash dot axis line, right? Sectional plane large dash small dash, large dash small dash, large dash small dash, sectional plane, right? And hidden line just small dashes, we will keep it as here hidden lines. See, there is a lot of difference between this all. Straight lines, whatever we are seeing, whatever parts we are seeing, we will indicate with straight lines, right? Axis line means midpoint line, center line is axis line. Sectional plane means a plane which is used for cutting the solids, sectional plane. Hidden lines means which we can't see in 3D diagrams, right? The back portions we can't see, the hidden parts we will draw like this, right? So now I explain conic sections, right? So this is the shape of the cone. This is the shape of the cone. From front view I can see this part, and back side I can't see, no, so hidden one, right? So this part is called as apex. This part is called as apex, and these are the slant edges. Slant edges we will call it as generators, right? And from the midpoint I can draw axis line, right? And this is the base curve. Okay, this is the shape of the cone. Now what I am saying, if I am removing the top portion of the cone, if suppose I am removing the top portion of the cone with the help of a sectional plane, so how the sectional plane line will be? Large dash small dash, large dash small dash. If naming it as some AA, if I am removing the top portion of the cone, the section obtained is circle, right? Suppose if I am making the sectional plane in some inclination manner, not in a straight line, it is inclined to one of the axis, it is inclined to the axis, right? So if I am removing this portion now, it looks like an oval shape, right? The oval shape is nothing but here ellipse, right? Now next, if I am naming it as CC, and I am removing this portion now. I am removing this portion, right? Now this portion looks like a parabola. We are removing this portion now. CC is a sectional plane. We are removing this total portion now, right? So it looks like a parabola. See, this sectional plane is parallel to the generator. If the sectional plane is parallel to the generator, the section obtained is parabola. If it is not parallel to any generator, we will get the hyperbola. Right? So circle, ellipse, parabola, hyperbola. Right? So remember this one. Circle means when the sectional plane is exactly perpendicular to the axis, we will get circle. When the sectional plane is inclined to the axis, ellipse. When the sectional plane is parallel to the generator, parabola. When the sectional plane is not parallel to any of the generator, hyperbola. Right? So you have to remember all these terms. Right? So there is a terminology you have to know. Terminology involved in conic sections. Right? So when coming to constructional method, when you are drawing ellipse, parabola, hyperbola, there is some terminologies to remember. Like a straight line, we will call it as directrix, right? Mark the midpoint for this directrix and draw the axis line dash dot, right? So this will be the shape of the ellipse, oval shape. This will be the shape of the parabola, and this will be the shape of the hyperbola, right? Hyperbola having more width when compared to parabola. Hyperbola is having more width when compared to parabola, right? So starting point of hyperbola, it is called as vertex. Starting point of hyperbola, I call it as vertex, and this is the starting point of the ellipse, this is the ending point of the ellipse, called as vertices, right? So this is directrix, ellipse, parabola, hyperbola, axis line, vertices. So that's what I mentioned here. Terminology involved in conic section. See, a straight line is called as directrix, horizontal line is called as axis line, ellipse, parabola, hyperbola. A point on the axis line is focus point, V1, V2 vertices, V vertex, V vertex. See, ellipse is a closed curve. Ellipse is a closed curve having starting vertex V1 and ending vertex V2. Parabola, hyperbola is an open curve having only one vertex V. It never ends, it never closes, always it ends, right? Hyperbola is having more width when compared to parabola, right? So you have to remember these terminologies when you are constructing ellipse, parabola, hyperbola. When you are constructing ellipse, parabola, hyperbola, definitely you are drawing a directrix line, definitely you are drawing an axis line. Directrix line, axis line, focus point, vertices, right? Just remember these terminologies, right? Now what I said, in conic sections, we are going to learn about ellipse, we are going to learn about parabola, we are going to learn about hyperbola, right? So in ellipse we are going to draw 5 methods, right? In parabola we are going to draw 4 methods, in hyperbola we are going to draw 3 methods, right? So there are some methods to construct ellipse, that is eccentricity method, intersecting arc method, rectangle method, parallelogram method, concentric circle method. In parabola also eccentricity method, rectangle method, parallelogram method, tangent method. In hyperbola eccentricity method, right, rectangular asymptotes method, orthogonal asymptotes method. These are some methods in order to draw ellipse, in order to draw parabola, in order to draw hyperbola. That's what I written here. Ellipse, the methods of construction of ellipse. Ellipse, we are having eccentricity method, rectangle or oblong method, parallelogram method, intersecting arc method, concentric circle method, right? In parabola we are having eccentricity method, rectangular oblong method, parallelogram method, tangent method. Hyperbola, eccentricity method, rectangular asymptotes method, oblique method, right? So if you see here, eccentricity method is common for ellipse, parabola and hyperbola, right? Now what is eccentricity first? What is eccentricity? Eccentricity is denoted by small e, right? E equal to distance of point from focus, distance of point from focus to distance of point from directrix, right? So see, I wrote here eccentricity E equal to distance of point from focus to distance of point from directrix. What does it mean? This is directrix line D dash, I am indicating with D dash. I am marking the midpoint here and I am drawing the axis line, right? So distance of point from focus, right? A point on the axis line is nothing but focus. Distance of point from focus from here to here. Distance of point from focus to distance of point from directrix. This distance is nothing but eccentricity. Distance of point from focus to distance of point from directrix is nothing but eccentricity. If I am considering here parabola, right, this is focus, no? Distance of point from focus to distance of point from directrix. This is directrix, no? This is nothing but eccentricity. if I am constructing hyperbola, this is focus point, no? Distance of point from focus to distance of point from directrix is nothing but eccentricity, right? So if eccentricity is less than 1, we are going to draw ellipse. If eccentricity is equal to 1, we are going to draw parabola. If eccentricity is greater than 1, we are going to draw hyperbola, right? So depends on eccentricity only. We have to know whether what curve we have to draw, ellipse, parabola, hyperbola. Suppose you see here, if E is equal to 2 by 3. 2 by 3 means it is less than 1. If E is less than 1, we are going to draw ellipse, right? If suppose E equal to 3 by 4, right, it is here less than 1. Less than 1 means you have to draw here ellipse. If E equal to 4 by 3, 4 by 3 means it is greater than 1. If E is greater than 1, you have to draw hyperbola. If E equal to unity, if E equal to unity, you have to draw parabola. So you have to remember this eccentricity formula. First, distance of point from focus to distance of point from directrix. Distance of point from focus, distance of point from directrix is eccentricity. Eccentricity is denoted by E, right? If E is less than 1, ellipse. If E equal to 1, parabola. If E greater than 1, hyperbola, right? So in next video we will see all these constructions: ellipse, eccentricity method, rectangle method, parallelogram method, intersecting arc method, concentric circle method, right? So in order to construct all these methods, you people have to know all these terminologies first. What is eccentricity, what is focus, what is directrix, what is vertices and all. If you know all these terminologies only, you can draw the problems easily, right?